ميريدا أو كما تسمى بالمدينة البيضاء هي عاصمة إقليم يوكاتان وعاصمة حضارة المايا أيضاً، من رغم محاولة الغزاة الأسبان لتدمير هذه الحضارة إلا أنها أصرت على البقاء. ميريدا هي بوابتي للتعرف على حضارة المايا. كل ما في هذه المدينة يؤكد على بقاء هذه الحضارة من بشرة السكان ولغتهم وعاداتهم أيضاً. يتوسط مدينة ميريدا صرح لاباتريا. بني هذا الصرح منذ أكثر من 100 سنة، وهذا الصرح الوحيد في البلاد الذي يحمل رسومات تتحدث عن تاريخ المكسيك بأكمله. كانت ميريدا محطة أساسية كونها عاصمة الإقليم، وعبرها يتم الانطلاق إلى مناطق الشمال. من عاصمة المايا ميريدا إلى أهرامات تشيتشن. الطريق طويل ولكن يستحق كل هذا العناء. المسافة ليست بالقصيرة، ولكنك على الدراجة تكتشف كلما تعمقت شمالا باتجاه تشيتشن تجمعات أحفاد المايا وقراهم الجميلة. Edwin, as my understanding that the Maya, they have a certain language, right? They speak it. And this village, they kept the same language through 1,000 years ago, right?
La Maya hoy en día es un idioma que se fue perdiendo poco a poco. Sin embargo, hoy en día la gente ha reconocido que es un idioma muy bonito y es parte de la cultura. Entonces hoy en día se ha estado hablando más lo que es el maya. La gente lo empieza a aprender. Antiguamente el maya era tener vergüenza hablarlo, pero hoy en día ya hablarlo es algo bonito para nosotros.
Edwin, now I'm gonna finish my tour through the entire village and then I'm gonna head out. Thank you very much. تشيتشن عبق التاريخ وأسطورة شغلت العلماء والباحثين في فك ألغازها. Ray, what does the Maya civilization means to you? And what's brought you here?
It means what can be accomplished with very little. They had no sophisticated technology, they had no heavy machines. Everything here was made by hand. That impresses me.
عرفوا عنها القليل وبقى الكثير طي الكتمان. هذه المدينة التي يقصدها الكثيرون من مقتفي أخبار حضارة المايا تعتبر ممراً إلزامياً للسياح.
I don't live far away in Texas. I have no excuse but to come here and see this unbelievable creation made by men's hands, not by machines.
So what did you learn from this civilization, Ray?
What leadership, strength of will, and intelligence and an appreciation of art can produce. مليون زائر كل سنة في هذا المكان. الجميع يأتي من كل أنحاء العالم يحملون الألغاز ويريدون الأجوبة. جاوا يشوفون هذا المكان ويتأكدون بعينهم أحد عجائب الدنيا السبع يحمل الكثير من الألغاز اللي حيرت العلماء.
Y estas personas, estos visitantes vienen a Chichén Itzá para ver la grandeza de los mayas. Chichén Itzá ha sido declarado como Patrimonio de la Humanidad y esto representa que Chichén Itzá es una obra del genio creador humano, presente en los monumentos que vemos, en la cultura y el simbolismo que esto encierra.
Every stairs represent a certain thing. I heard that there is 91 stairs all over. What does that represent? And what's the representation of the entire pyramid?
Okay, la pirámide de Kukulcán o el castillo está representando la montaña sagrada. En ella representaron un monumento al tiempo, ya que todos sus elementos nos hablan del calendario sagrado, el calendario ritual. Por ejemplo, tenemos 4 lados con 4 escalinatas.
كان الشعب المايا يرمون قرابينهم أو أضحياتهم من الأطفال والعذروات في هذا البئر تقربا إلى إلههم إله المطر. علي أن أحث الخطى. أقبل الليل واقترب موعد لقائي مع عائلة كانت قد دعتنا إلى منزلها، وكنت متشوقا للتعرف على الحياة اليومية للناس. Hola. Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, and tell me a little bit about this town, because I noticed that the buildings here are just amazing.
Yes.
Beautiful, with full of colors, full of life.
Valladolid was founded about 2 hours from here, but in 1545 the Spanish people, the Spaniards arrived to found this very beautiful and very important city.
And also I learned that the Maya have their own language as well, right?
Yes.
And still exists until today.
Yes, here in the city, but especially in the small villages, almost the people who live there, they speak and sometimes write in Mayan language.
And do you speak any Maya?
I speak a little bit. For example, Bishabel. Bishabel in Mayan language, which means how are you? For example, we stay in this, the name of this neighborhood is Sisal, but in Maya, the original Mayan name was Sisha, which means cold water. Sis is cold and Ha it's water.
Tell me about the food.
The food in Mexico is very delicious. The actually food that we have in Yucatan is mixed from the Mayan culture, the Spanish, and some French.
Thank you so much for all the information. I'm only learning. Every day I learn from Mexican.
You're welcome, Ali. This is your home.
Yes, thank
and
you.
Please, you come back maybe in the
Thank
future.
you. Thank you.
Ahí está. Salud de madrina.
بين تشيتشن وأهراماتها الشامخة وشاطئ تولووم والذكريات التي نقشت على جدران قصورها، تتوزع آثار المايا وقصصهم في أكثر من موقع، واللافت آلاف السواح الذين يتواجدون حيثما اتجهت.
Hi Ali, how are you?
Very well, Juan Pablo.
Welcome to the Ishkaken Sinkhole.
Thank you for inviting me here
Thank you.
and giving me a good look inside the halls.
Okay, very good.
Thank you,
So
thank you.
we are gonna visit the most important sinkhole in the whole Yucatan.
Juan Pablo, you told me there is the Mayan civilization made a lot of sacrifices as well here, right?
Exactly, that's right. In some caves, you know, this sinkholes has 60 meters deep.
60?
And, yeah, exactly. There are caves. In some caves, they found skeletons. We suppose that's the people that the Mayans sacrificed.
I was reading about the Maya, they had connection trade connection with the Inca. They were doing goods together, but they didn't have any fight or anything.
Yeah, exactly. This is the sign that we know that is a hole. I mean a sinkhole. If you find a hole like this tree, probably there is a cave. There is a
And that was broken because of the thunderstorm.
Yeah, exactly. There is no more rubble because it was a thunderstorm. Well, this sinkhole is one of the most important of the Yucatan. As I told you, there are more than 5,000 sinkholes in the whole peninsula of Yucatan.
And do you know any history behind in this sinkhole? What does it represent to the Maya culture?
Well, this is like a lagoon, a magic lagoon for the Mayan people. All the sinkholes in the peninsula of Yucatan, they have a connection. So there are sub-rivers that they connect each other, and the water they have a connection with the sea.
شاطئ تولووم ميناء عاصر المرحلة الذهبية لاقتصاد المايا. لم يبقى منه إلا بعض شواهد معمارية لقصور مهجورة تصارع البقاء. تشكل مورداً اقتصادياً كبيراً باستقبالها 6,000 سائح يومياً. يتوافد السياح من كل أنحاء العالم لمشاهدة ميناء المايا، حيث أن هذا الميناء كان مصدر للتجارة البحرية وصيد السمك لحضارة المايا. What's the meaning of Tولووم, and why the water or the sea is important to them?
Tولووم means wall because it's surrounded by 3 walls and the fourth protection is the sea. The original name is Sama, which means sunrise. For the Mayas, the water was very important because in here we are standing in subterraneous caves, and they believed that the gods could live down there. In here lives the élites, the governors of Tولووم. So there are a few palaces and some other houses for their servants and an area for the agriculture.
We are here in Tولووم or Tولووم beach. That was a consider of the Mayans port.
This area is characteristic by the development of the trading. Here some merchandises were imported like the obsidian, the greenstone, cacao, copper, and some others were exported like cotton, slaves, canoes, salt, honey.
So I heard a lot of stories about why the Maya extended. One of them is about the drought. What do you think? What's your comment about this story?
It is a paradox. Why in the south they decay with more jungle, with more humidity, and in the north they arose with less, with more dryness conditions.
Very well, very well. Thank you so much, Carmen, for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your visit.
عندما كانوا أهل الأندلس يتساءلون عن ماذا وراء البحار، كانت هذه الحضارة قائمة في وقتها. أغادر أرض المايا وأبقى ضمن نطاقها في مريدة، عاصمتهم التي تجمع أنواع السواح القادمين بهدف الفضول والمعرفة. صحيح أن دافع العودة إلى مكسيكو سيتي هو المشاركة في اليوم الأسبوعي للشوارع الخالية من السيارات، ولكن زيارة البازار التاريخي ومقابلة حفيد مؤسسة التي فاتتني أصبحت ممكنة الآن. يعتبر بازار سانخيل ذاكرة متجددة بحكم قدمه ونوعية السلع التي تعرض فيه والنشاط الاقتصادي الدائم بداخله. This place is full of life, full of color, full of people.
It's an amazing place. I've been here all my life. I was born around here. It's a historical place. It's called San Angel. It's a colonial place from back where the Spanish came here. My grandfather started this place, and after it had a lot of success, it became this wild thing full of people and culture and art. Bazaar started in 1960 as a small thing, and well, it's 5 years old now.
نسبة لمدينة يتحرك الملايين في أحشائها، تبدو فكرة رؤيتها بلا وسائل نقل مثيرة وتبعث على الاستغراب. وتفتح المجال لهواة ومحترفي ركوب الدراجات أمثالي المئات من جميع الأعمار الذين ينتظرون هذا الموعد الأسبوعي لأن يعيشوا مدينتهم بدرجة تلوث أقل. في أكثر عواصم العالم ازدحاما مكسيكو سيتي يزداد الاهتمام بالدراجة الهوائية والرياضة بشكل عام، حيث أن الحكومة اضطرت إلى إقفال أهم شوارع المدينة يوم الأحد وتخصيصه للدراجين والرياضيين.
En la Ciudad de México nos interesa promover la cultura del uso de la bicicleta, que desde pequeños se familiaricen y que utilicen la bicicleta no solo los domingos, sino que utilicen la bicicleta entre semana como medio de transporte y hacer una ciudad sustentable.
هذا اليوم الذي عمل كثيرون في تكريسه يوما بيئيا رياضيا يمنح الشوارع المكتظة طوال الأسبوع بعض النفس.
All of this you see around, it wasn't here. It wasn't at least the way it is. And it's growing like 2% a year or something like that. I couldn't be precise with it, but it's enjoyable. I mean, some people are terrified to ride in Mexico City because, you know, it's, I don't know, 2 million cars.
Mexico City is known for one of the most crowded city in the world. What challenges that you face to close one of the main streets here in Mexico?
We have a huge challenge. We want Mexico City like a human city. We start 18 years ago to fight to have public politics to change the mobility in the city. I want to know if in Qatar there are a movement to promote the urban
yes,
cyclists.
Sport is very important in Qatar, and we have a lot of groups in Qatar. We have Qatar cyclists, we have other groups in Qatar, and we have one day in a year. That's February. We close most of the streets, and everybody from the top all the way. Everybody go to the streets, and then we practice sport just to knowledge people how sport is important. لم يكن اليوم الخالي من السيارات مكسبي الوحيد من العودة إلى مكسيكو، بل فرصتي لأزور مكاناً تقلبت فيه الأحداث بشكل درامي حتى صار خزان ذكريات 3 قرون.
Salvador, it's absolutely an amazing place. We are here in Casa
Alcázar de Chapultepec.
Alcázar de Chapultepec. And you mentioned just a couple minutes ago about Alcázar. It's an Arabic word.
Yes, it means palace.
Oh, so in Arabic we say القصر.
Yes.
قصر Chapultepec. This beautiful place is absolutely magnificent, full of life. I can get the feeling of the emperor at that time. It's absolutely amazing. Can you tell me a little bit about this history, about this museum?
Yes, this museum was built first by the Viceroy in 1785. And then in the middle of the 19th century, the presidents and the emperor lives here. In 1939, the President Cárdenas signed an order to build the Museo Nacional de Historia, National Museum of History, here in Chapultepec Castle. And the Alcázar of Chapultepec was the museum of sight, the residence of the presidents and the emperor.
This museum holds a lot of secrets and a lot of beautiful paintings about everything.
About the Mexican history.
Yes, the Mexican and...
Since the conquest through the Mexican Revolution.
And you know, Salvador, I noticed there are also a skeleton of the Aztec civilization.
Here we have the rest of the conquest against the Spaniards and the Aztecs. We have here skeletons from Spaniards and Aztecs. You have here mixed architecture times. You have since 18th century through 21st century. These paintings show one part of the history since 16th century here through the revolution here. You have 4 centuries of history in the wall paintings, but they are museography language.
أغادر المكسيك وأعرف أن رحلتي في أمريكا اللاتينية لا زالت في بدايتها. الدراجة التي حملتني طوال رحلتي علي أن أحملها الآن حالما أصل إلى وجهتي الثانية.